Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC in the building.
That's right. Another week, another opportunity to talk about the teams that we love that continue to let us down. But hopefully not this season. Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. On today's episode, we got to talk about 3 names that Albert Breer believes the Chicago Bears could possibly add heading into this season. Seems like the Bears could still be focused on the edge rush position even after investing in it at the level that they have. Also, running back still on the board, but a different name. A different name. Ladies and gentlemen, the date is 7/7/2025. It's 7:03 in the morning. And as always, Jordan JC.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
That's right. The Bears didn't get him yet. That's it.
I don't need a writ. You need a discipline report. I ain't had that since I was in elementary school. Trying to give me a pink slip. Get out of here with that.
Oh, get on him, Chad. I sent the link. He couldn't find it. Didn't refresh that email, did you?
Yeah, I probably didn't. Jesus. What's going on?
All that more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Yeah, I heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. I love Fit the Currents. Like,
Jesus, you been counting Book of World?
We doing a work weekend.
Book of World? Come on.
JC, we're going to need to see you in our office here, buddy. We're going to...
Jesus, man.
And Pops said JC must have tried to join the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on Friday and was soaking for losing. You a hot dog eating contest guy, JC?
I don't do the glizzy contest.
Do you tune in? I'm gonna be honest with you. I have never sat down and watched one.
I know. I keep forgetting that Joey Chestnut. Joey Chestnut. Yeah, I know the guy that usually wins it, but no, I've never ever watched it. It probably is disgusting to look at.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's my thing. Like, I'm not a fan of it.
I'm doing it
because of the style, and because of the fact that one dude just continues to destroy the sport.
Yeah, he's a good-looking glizzy goblin. What are we talking about?
He is a glizzy goblin, dog. He is a demon out here, if you will. A demonic glizzy gobbler out here. No, but I mean, listen, it's very tough for me to sit there and be like, oh my God, like this is, such an elite thing when, number one, here's my thing. Yes, you can sit there and find all these ways to get the full hot dog down with the bun and all of that. Eat the hot dog. Like, how good are you eating hot dog? Like, I don't want to see how good you are throwing glizzies down your gullet and then dipping bread in water and shoving that in there.
That's the part that's disgusting to me, is dipping the bread in the water. You make it even more just unappetizing. Like, what is your practice routine for downing 100 hot dogs?
I want to see how good you are at actually eating hot dogs like a human being.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be.
I don't want to see how good you are bread dipping in water. Like no, nothing else. There's no pie eating contest where you flip the pie out and you eat it from the bottom. I mean, you just eat the pie. You just eat the pie. There's no trick to the dude that just drinks gallons of lemonade. That large black man that drinks gallons of lemonade.
I agree, Bears Junkie. This whole conversation's one big pause. We start real crazy on a Monday. I'm just
saying, bro. I feel like we're not getting real competition. The competition I want to see, how many of those dogs can you down in bun?
You're a dog downer? Oh, boy. We're talking about dog downers. All right, well.
You know what competition I want to see JC in? How many pigeon-eating competitions?
No, that Dave. That Dave. Whatever, man. Actually a nice
What's
day.
good, y'all? Appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show and Love as always, man. We having a fun start to a Monday morning here. We do got to get to a little bit of Bears football because Albert Breer making little waves here, talking about 3 names the Chicago Bears could bring in. I think that the big conversation around the Bears right now is that opposite edge rusher. That's why we keep talking about Trey Hendrickson. It's why we keep talking about going out there and trading for somebody. But there's actually someone who was not brought back by his former team, who the Chicago Bears already had interest in. Now, he is coming off of a little bit of a season-ending injury there. Matthew Judon, the name I'm talking about here. Matthew Judon in Atlanta. It just didn't go well. End up having a bicep injury there. And that was somebody, remember last year on Hard Knocks, that Ryan Poles was doing everything he could to go after. He was so distraught after he couldn't get a Matthew Judon in the building. And it would have been interesting to get Matthew Judon in there. But we saw a dip in his production. And the big question around it is, okay, well, why? Why do we see the dip in his production? Was it the injury, trying to play through it, then eventually tearing it all the way? Or was it the fact that he was used improperly? And when Matthew Judon was asked about this on 92.9 The Game in Atlanta, he said, Atlanta's coaching staff didn't use him properly, and it had nothing to do with health or bad luck. Quote, hell no. If you look at the film, I dropped into coverage on 60% of the plays. It's hard to get a pick and a sack on the same play. Which, I mean, listen, shout out to him. Like, I guess he's not wrong. It's very difficult. I had to say that quote, bro. Because
I just love the quote. Hell no.
Hell no. It was asked about. Hey, what went wrong? Was it a health or bad luck? Hell no. Look at the film.
And it used me right.
Dropped into coverage on 60% of the plays. It's hard to get a pick and a sack on the same play. I love that quote. Jordan JC, Matthew Judon on the table. Are you interested in possibly bringing him here? Probably to be opposite edge, opposite Montez Sweat, even though he does have that inside-outside ability.
Hell no. No, I'm just playing. I just want to say that again. No. Anyway, no. Here's the thing. With an athlete, they're never going to say, you know what, maybe I'm kind of slowing down. My production is not where it used to be when I was in the prime of my career. Matthew Judon is entering his age 33 season. I think the time has passed where he's going to be a productive, constant starter. He's the type of player, and maybe this is where you would bring him in, right? If he can play that role, kind of like what Grady Jarrett is possibly going to do for us, where he's going to play maybe a limited amount of snaps. So you keep him healthy and you put him through that carousel of edge rushers that we got, whether, you place him in and out with Dio Adangbo or Austin Booker or whoever else they're interested in getting. I could see a path to, him filling that type of role, but him having a full-time role opposite Montez Sweat, that's not something that I'm fully interested in. As you said, the production took kind of a hit. He was a Pro Bowler for a couple of years, 2019 to 22, top 10 finish in Defensive Player of the Year in 22, 9th overall in that campaign. So, I mean, there's some history there where he's obviously been very good, but lately, no. It seems like we're always going after the guys that has a little bit of an ouchie, and then they're coming back from that. Like, I want a guy that's a little ouchie. Little ouch.
Okay.
Yeah, a little pain here and there. I want a fully healthy guy. I'm tired of this. So no, Judon's a nice name, but I feel like there's better out there.
Only thing that I think is intriguing, and listen, the part for me where it's done is if he's coming in with a massive price tag. Like if you've had 2 down years. You've had a season-ending injury in New England with that bicep injury. You've had some health issues in Atlanta, even though he did play 17 games. He started 15 of those games, and you had 5.5 sacks. You've had 9.5 sacks over the last 2 seasons. Now, 2 years before that, were you that guy? Sure, age 30. 15.5 sacks, dominant out in New England. 12.5 sacks, dominant out in New England, right? In Baltimore, we never really saw him be that level of dominance we saw him be in New England over those last couple of seasons, but very different situation there. But to me, it's just, I don't know if you can return to being that guy. Now, if you want to come in and we're talking about, maybe a $7-8 million deal, fine. I'm fine taking a flyer on somebody for that. You're not losing anything. You're not out anything. There's no money that you've heavily invested into Matthew Judon that I think, brings him in. But on 2 years of down years, and we can say we want, the 1 year was an injury year, 100%. It's a down year. He was literally down. On 2 years of down years, I have a tough time just being like, yeah, it's fine. Just go ahead and take a chance on him. Like, to me, that's when you start to see, and then on the other side of that year, right, you end up seeing him have the step back in production. That is tough. Now, again, to his point, I haven't looked at the Matthew Judon film. I haven't seen how much he was back in coverage. I do think that is something that could be a benefit to the Bears if you wanted to go after him, is the fact that he can drop back in coverage. I wouldn't drop him back 60% of the time, but to me, I do wonder if the Bears were to bring him in and utilize him as a pure pass rusher. Could you get close to those numbers again? Does he provide you that boost that maybe you feel Dayo Odangbo doesn't have just yet? And can he kind of show Dayo Odangbo the ropes in a situation like that? I think that will be interesting as well to take a look at.
That's possible. I mean, Dennis Allen is the type of coach who wants his edge rushers to play aggressive and just continuing to attack. And so he would fit right in with that. I'm fine with, that aspect of it. But again, to me, I'm just in fear. Like, here's my thing. Like, I can compare it like this. Like, when you have a player like Judon who has had some really, really good years, like you mentioned, not too far removed, couple years or so from the 15.5 sack season, that's all well and good. But when your body starts to break down and you're going into the mid-30s, especially in football, that's kind of like around the time period where you're kind of on your last leg in a sense. And so we already have guys like that. Like, I mentioned Grady Jarrett. We already have guys that are kind of up in age. But the thing is with me is I don't want someone who is coming off of injury that, yes, he can say all the right things. You can expect him to be like, hey, I'm going to get back into form. It takes a minute for those type of players to get back to where they were, even if they do produce in that fashion anymore. I compare it to Joe Thuney. Joe Thuney is up in age as well. But Joe Thuney's advantage is that he rarely has gotten hurt. He is literally a clean bill of health. And so when you compare that type of player who's been an all-pro year after year after year, you can put more trust in a player like that because he's available all the time. And so his play has never dropped off. My thing with this guy is Matthew Judon, his play has dropped off. He hasn't been available like he has in the past couple of years. And so that's what scares me. So I feel like you shouldn't just go out and get him just because he's a name. Like I said, there's other names that are available to me that are actually better when it comes to production, when it comes to age. And I know we'll get into it, but I'm good on the Matthew Judon if we're talking about just bringing somebody in to just fill a certain role.
Well, let me ask you this, JC. And by the way, over 100.
Hey,
Oh, we got a little extra music in there.
Yeah, what was that? We do.
No,
it's not Friday. What are we doing?
That? Okay, you calm yourself now. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Let me ask you this, Jordan JC.
Yeah.
Could you say that was last season? usually after a major injury, there is that 1 year where there's the bounce back, like, all right, I got to get used to being on the field, got to get myself back in football shape, get my body right. He missed an entire season, came back last season. Could you say that was last season, where we're not talking about something with the ankles or the knees or the back, or where something was torn in a pivotal moving position? We're talking about a bicep, which, listen, is important if you want to play the game, but I don't think it's something that changes the player that you are. Could last season have been the down year on coming off of a season-ending injury?
It possibly could have. Hey, Matthew Judon could prove everybody wrong and say, now that I'm healthy, I'm back to form. I'm back at it. I'm going to put up the season that I had a few years ago. I'll be back to being on an all-pro in no time. I'm not saying that it can't happen. Sure, we've seen that, but I feel like that's more of the outlier than the norm, because you've seen athletes, especially in football. We're talking about a very violent contact sport where some of the most minor injuries can take a person out. Whether it be your leg, a little dink here, a little dunk, that adds up over time. Yeah. We've seen younger players kind of go down. You looked at, what we had previously in Tevin Jenkins. Reason why we were okay with letting him go is because he just couldn't keep himself on the field, constantly hurt. Like, it was unfortunate. But
I think that's the thing. That's not Judon's story, though. Judon has been a healthy player.
Yeah, but I'm scared, again, compared with the age, 33 and coming off of injury.
That I agree with.
That is what I'm scared of, because if he was younger, I'll put it like this. If he was younger, when you compare him to like what the Saquon went through before he had his epic season, or even Adrian Peterson back in the day before he came back and ran all over the entire NFL, like, to me, it's a different comparison, because you're talking about somebody that's past his prime. And so when he does come back healthy, I feel like he has more to prove, and I feel like it's going to be more of an uphill battle to get back to your form.
Yeah, listen, definitely could be. I think Judon is somebody interesting to look at. I don't think that I think if you could get him for the right price, I would probably be interested in him more than some of the other names that have been thrown out there, because I do feel like a lot of these guys are just, and even Judon, I feel like Judon's a stopgap guy, right? It's not your future. But what I would say is Judon the signal that we think is actually happening here? Because I think there's some Bears fans who are kind of like, well, I'm in reserve, let's see, we got a couple of years before we get to. I think Ben Johnson's trying to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that this is a wait and see process. And so is Judon one of those guys where you go, listen, we're not going to give up the world for Trey Hendrickson right now. Plus, he may actually end up re-signing. It seems like the conversations have begun yet again. How about we go out here and get this guy that we wanted anyway, that we know what he can do? He just was banged up a couple of years ago. Oh, by the way, he came back and played in 15. He started 15 to 17 games. I think the 2 games he didn't play because it was the end of the season, and they were like, just go take a nap. We're good.
Rest up.
We don't want. Now, again, if you're talking about expense, if we're talking about him coming in on big money, that's where I think I'm done there. But I would be intrigued by a guy like Matthew Judon. Another name that Albert Breer brought up that I want to get to here coming up. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about this name. But seems like Za'Darius Smith still on the market. Could be an interesting name that the Chicago Bears could go after. We're going to take a quick break, listening to a word from our sponsors. And after that, when we come back, let's talk a little Za'Darius Smith, Jordan JC. You a Smith guy?
I'm a Smith guy.
Oh, big Smith guy.
Big Smith guy.
We'll be right back. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media,
bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we got merch. That's right. New website, new merch, all out. We've been telling you guys to pull up on us. Now you can at twcbreeze.com, where you can find out all of the latest stuff going on. What all can they find there, Super Producer?
Listen, you can join the nation, sign up to our mailing list, and be up to date for events and news. You can also visit the shop page and order merch, because we have t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got mugs, we got hats, we got all kind of stuff. So, hey, we appreciate you being tuned in with us. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on all our socials. Check us out at twcbreeze.com.
He's way too excited.
I
am. Fun fact, that's actually the last time we saw the Super Producer.
Oh, yeah. Where is he?
Haven't seen him in years.
Building a foundation for another building. Jeez. Come back, Joe.
Joe, we miss you. Joe! We used to have friends. That's just me and Jordan. Somebody save me.
Morning Breeze every day now.
Every day is just steaks. It's just so much steak.
Sick of the steaks. You know,
It's a ridiculous amount of steak.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry. That's all I got.
Oh, welcome back in. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. Just got done talking about Matthew Judon. Now we got to talk about another player that the Chicago Bears could be interested in. That is, I don't know, man. This one's an interesting name. He's been around for a while. Best year's probably in his past, but still putting up some good numbers at the NFL level. Za'Darius Smith, a former Packer, which, you know, I mean, what do we?
Yeah.
Has there been enough time where the Packer stench is off of him? I don't know. But listen, he's been a player who has put up some really, really good numbers over his time. Had a down season in Cleveland. Well, not really, actually, I guess. Well, 2 years ago, had a down season in Cleveland. Last year, he kind of had a bounce back, had 5 sacks at the point where he was traded, ended up getting traded to Detroit. Detroit tried to, go on that run and replace Aiden Hutchinson with Za'Darius Smith. He put up 4 sacks in Detroit. Wasn't enough. Defense had basically fallen apart at that point. I mean, there was nobody left alive on that team, but 69 sacks, nice, on his career to this point. He also comes in at 33 years old, but hasn't had the season-ending issues since 2021, a little bit further back. Jordan JC, does Za'Darius Smith interest you for the Chicago Bears?
Okay, now we're moving the needle in the right direction. Za'Darius Smith is a name. I'm a big Smith guy, big Za'Darius guy, because contrary to what we talked about with Judon, even though they're the same age, Za'Darius Smith has been healthy for the past couple of seasons. That's one of the keys to why I feel like he would be a big plus, is because he's been durable. I think he's only missed 2 games in the last 4 seasons. That's very, very good. 3-time Pro Bowler. You mentioned last 3 seasons he's put up 24.5 sacks, and so right there, that's really good production. I think last season he had 9 sacks, and so you have competition from other teams, especially Detroit, according to their beat writer from A to Z Sports. They're saying that they could probably try to re-sign him, but I love Za'Darius Smith. possibly coming to the Bears. He's someone who would fit well. Obviously, the connection to Ben Johnson, he's familiar with him from his time last season. And then, of course, connected with Dennis Allen. He's the type of edge rusher that he would covet, because, again, talking about that aggressive defensive play scheme that Dennis Allen runs. And so he would fit right in. That's the type of guy that I would love to be in a rotation with the other guys like Dio and Austin and whoever else we get.
See, here's my issue with this, JC. Here's my issue with this.
All right, what you got?
He's literally Matthew Judon.
He's better than Matthew Judon.
Matthew Judon literally has 24.5 sacks in the last 3 seasons, one of which he only played 4 games.
Oh, well, he's out there.
No, he's not. About this thing. Because, see, this is my thing. I think people see Za'Darius Smith, and listen, I get it. You saw him play better last season. Usually when you see somebody be able to go out there and put up the production, you feel better about it. I get it. 2 years ago, we're talking about Matthew Judon having a season-ending injury with the torn pec, or torn bicep, I should say. But like it's tough for me to be in on Za'Darius Smith and out on Matthew Judon. Now, the price tag may be different.
There we go.
It could change things up for you. But I mean, are we just trying to complete the infinity gauntlet? I put the comment up on the screen like this would be Za'Darius Smith playing for every team in the NFC North. You know what I mean? Like is that
that would be that's smart. That would be smart. He knows the tendencies of the other NFC North teams. Come on down. Let us know.
Very different quarterbacks on every team from the time he was in Minnesota and Green Bay. But I don't know. Za'Darius Smith to me is intriguing. I think that he is, again, another stopgap piece. I'm not sitting here telling you that he's an answer.
No.
But I would, unless Za'Darius Smith is coming in way cheaper. I feel like Matthew Judon gives you more upside. At this point, to me, is who he is. 9 sack season last season, great. I think he would look really good next to Montez Sweat. I think he would be somebody that could also bring that pressure on the opposite edge. I think he can still get to the quarterback. Like you said, 3-time Pro Bowler. That don't mean as much to me. But he was an All-Pro in 2022. He was an All-Pro second team in 2021. Or I'm sorry, 2020. But when I look at what the career has been, I mean, we're talking about Matthew Judon being an All-Pro, 2 seasons ago? I feel like as Matthew Judon has gotten older, his game has continued to get better. And because of the injury, if we're talking about injury history here, we look at that as, this guy fell off. Now, again, I haven't looked at the tape. I don't know if he was dropping back in 60% of his snaps. But I think if you had to weigh Za'Darius Smith or Matthew Judon, you're kind of in the same boat on either one, but one has a higher ceiling.
Au contraire, Pat the Designer. I haven't been called stat guy in a while.
But don't you say it.
I got a stat for
you. Son of a...
Oh, yeah.
There we go. There's a Jordan JC stat right there.
Oh, you should have. Salute.
Salute. Hey, y'all keep killing them dudes. Salute.
The worst coaching statement in the history of coaching.
You called a timeout. We have no play.
Just go out there and do your best. He's up there with Matt
that gift for him saluting, bro. Y'all keep killing them dudes. Salute.
That's right up there with Matt Eberflus coming out of halftime.
Oh, that's up there with Flus.
This is where we are, and this is where we at, and this is where we're going. And shut up. Anyway, my stat. All right, let me get to my stat. All right. So, Za'Darius Smith racked up more quick pressures last season than Dio Dengbo, Matthew Judon, and Jadeveon Clowney. So, according to NFL snaps per quick pressure, top 70 in quick pressures qualify less than 2.5 seconds. That means that this is one of the best charts for teasing out who the best pass rushers are as it removes coverage and cleanup pressures, self-sacks, and slow wins. Za'Darius Smith is right up there with the likes of Trey Hendrickson. So, I'm just saying, that's my advantage. Now, you want to sit here and say that Matthew Judon has a higher ceiling? I fight back and say that I want Za'Darius Smith. I think he has a higher ceiling. There you go.
I just love I respect the stat, and I think it's a great stat. Honestly, I think it is something as a feather in the cap of Za'Darius Smith. I would say again, haven't watched the tape, but it's very tough to have pressures on the quarterbacks or quick pressures if I'm dropped back and cover 60% of the time. It's very tough to get pressure on the quarterback when the quarterback's where you are, and I go, here we go.
You're moving away from him.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to pressure the QB going away from the QB. Again, I don't know if that's factual or not. He watched the tape. He was in the building. He was being dropped back in coverage. So I would say that could play a part in it, just taking him off of his word. I would have to go back and actually look at how much he was in coverage last season. But Steve, that's a wild statement. If I was to have to pick one or the other, I would probably still be on the Matthew Judon train. I do like Za'Darius Smith, though. And I think here's the thing. Both of these guys are being brought in to be in a rotation. It's like you said.
That is true. Yeah.
This is not bringing guys in to be the guy that they were in 2020 when they were both the dominant players, when they both were two of the best pass rushers in football. This is to bring a guy in to be who he is now, which is a rotational piece, a piece that can be put in. This is not to replace Dayo Odangbo or to upgrade Dayo Odangbo.
Yeah.
To be what's the right word I'm looking for here? To be a assistant? Nah, assistant's a bad word.
Oh my God, a mentor.
I don't have the words to basically help him. But mentor. Like this is just to help the rotation, essentially.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. The system. Yeah, that's about right. So here's my question to that. This is just an extension of the conversation. Are we technically saying, because you're mentioning all these names, it's just spot guys and fillers? Are we essentially saying we're out on the best guys like the Trey Hendricksons? You pretty much think that they're going to get a deal done? So we have to move forward with just some old veterans.
There you go, James. Thank you, James. Complimentary piece.
There you go.
Exactly the word I was looking for. Thank you,
complimentary. And you are a compliment, James. Thank you.
You are a complimentary piece to this show, James. And shout out to you, brother.
Salute.
Don't you dare give James the old. Don't you dare give him the old Darvin Ham treatment.
Every time I see that picture, the first thing I keep going to is that big spot on his head. I'm sorry.
Well, the only reason I don't joke about it because he got shot.
Salute. All right. Never mind. Never mind. I'm sorry. I had no idea that was the story behind it. Let's move on. I'm sorry. Salute. Hey, shout out to Darvin Ham. Hey, I have no more jokes to that. Never mind. This is Monday. We're going to just keep moving forward. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was very unaware. I was very naive. That was a very naive statement. I'm sorry. All right.
It's so incredibly early.
All right. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
Oh, Baki, come on now.
God.
I got birds attacking me. Is that why I'm being?
Oh, that was elite. Wow. Oh, here's JC right now.
Oh, yeah. That's an all-timer. I had no idea.
Oh man.
Steve-O, come on.
What are your thoughts of that knot on his head?
No, not that laugh. But you know what I thought? You remember when Scottie Pippen had that knot on his head because he got clocked a long time ago? I'm thinking the playoff series, and it was obvious, and I thought it was something like that. Like he just got elbowed. I literally did not know that.
Never went away. Well, I guess Scottie Pippen did have a may not. It may go away. It may not.
This shit was nuts today. All right. Okay. He is okay, Dexter. All right, Dexter.
Dexter.
That's the joke of the day. All right. Yeah, we got you.
Dexter.
We got you.
Oh God. That made me laugh incredibly hard. I was not expecting to be awoken to
Nova said, don't try to curve the combo now. Hey man, let's pivot. It's like pivot. I'm gonna use kids.
Yeah, pivot. Let us know as far as edge rusher go. Would you rather have Za'Darius Smith or Trey, or I'm not Trey Hendrickson, dang it. Za'Darius Smith or Matthew Judon in a Chicago Bears uniform? Now, another player that, and the final player that was brought up by Albert Breer in his commentary was not at the edge rush position, but at the running back position, a name that is very, very interesting here, who worked with Ben Johnson before.
Okay.
Worked with Dennis Allen the last couple of seasons.
Okay.
And from the running back position, kind of fell out of the rotation pretty much over the last couple of years after having one of his best and biggest careers with Ben Johnson in 2022. And that is Jamaal Williams. Now, Jamaal Williams, 30 years old, coming into this season. Did play in almost every game last season, played in 14 games last year, only started one. Of course, Kamara down there, if he's healthy, he's going to get the run.
Yeah, he's the bell cow.
So, you kind of get in where you fit in down there. But we've seen Jamaal Williams be one of the best running backs in the league as far as touchdown. When he came in with Ben Johnson in that 2022 season. Here's the big question around Jamaal Williams, though. He's not really a receiving threat. He's kind of Roschon Johnson replacement. Are you ready to replace Roschon Johnson?
I mean, no, but I mean, you ain't using Roschon, so you might as well replace him. Because I feel
Ben
like
Johnson may use Roschon.
He may, but I mean, they've been talking about using Roschon for the last 23 years. And it hasn't happened. He's been healthy. He has been healthy since he's been ready to take on more of a role since his days in Texas behind Bijan Robinson. He literally has not been a bell cow forever. Like you can use him to the max, and for some whatever reason they don't utilize him as best as they could. And so if you're going to get a guy that he clearly proves himself in the red zone, you saw that all-world season he had with 17 touchdowns with Detroit couple years ago, sure, I wouldn't mind having, Jamaal Williams come to the building. I'm fine with the Jamaal Williams. Take him.
I would take Jamaal Williams because I think he's healthy. I would want to see where Roschon is at. And what I mean by that is, if Roschon's not healthy, is Jamaal Williams now blocking Kyle Monunga? Is Jamaal Williams now taking away from guys you have in the room?
I could see that. Okay.
Is it better to go with Rojo than it is with, right? Are you taking that opportunity away from Rojo? Because the big question around Rojo is concussions.
Yeah.
He's a bell cow, middle, run it up the gap kind of running back, 4.5 yards up the middle. But if you can't stay unconcussed, I can't utilize you in that role. You know what I mean? And to me, I think that's where Jamaal Williams could thrive. We saw him thrive in that role in Detroit. We also saw his yards per carry be some of the best that he had in his career, 4.1 yards per carry that season. Now, as far as a receiving back, he is not that. He's not somebody who you really want to see catching the football out of the backfield. I think he only ended up having 73 receiving yards that season. It was all turn around, hand the football off, and get in the end zone. But to me, if you go into this training camp and you feel uncomfortable with where you're at the running back position with Roschon Johnson, I think that would be interesting. But is that not where you want Kyle Monunga to step up? Or do you want the guy that's been in the league, that's done it, that has affiliation with two of the coaches that are on your team coming in and being a part of that? That could be something as well. And to be honest with you, I think what the biggest difference in Jamaal Williams' game throughout his career has just been the attempts. The 1 year with Ben Johnson, he got 262 attempts. He was 1,000-yard back with 262 attempts and had 17 touchdowns. He's never seen anything close to that the rest of his career.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's tailed off last couple of seasons. Wow.
I mean, it wasn't even there before that. He had 153 the year before. He ran for 600 yards, ended up getting 3 touchdowns. He's had 106 after that. He had 48 last season.
Yeah, it's kind of going down. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's almost as if, yeah, that is his best season. Obviously, no. My big thing is, you mentioned it. Does he get in the way of some of the better running, or I wouldn't say better, but some of the opportunities that our young running backs could possibly have? And you already know that we're big Manung guys, so you would probably get in the way of that, because the way Cal Manungai plays is probably the same type of running back that you're trying to get in Jamaal Williams. Just up the gut, can get those short yardage plays, is a red zone threat, can get through the first level of contact, can break tackles. Like, those are the things that you're technically looking for in Jamaal Williams. And so I'm fine with maybe passing on him and giving the chance to the younger guys if Roshan doesn't actually work out. My thing is, Roshan actually is a person that you can rely on in the pass game as well. He does have that feather in his cap to his game as well. And so that might be the advantage that he has over Jamaal Williams. Again, I just would love to see them use him more. I have no idea why he's not a part of the game plan more, but hopefully we will see it. I guess the only connection with Jamaal, as you mentioned, is the connection to the coaches. And so if the coaches trust, like, hey, yeah, bring him in, this is someone that we fully rely on, and we know will get us the yards that we need when it comes time for crunch time, or when we're in the red zone and we're near the goal line and we got to just punch it in. Okay, fine. If Ben and Dennis Allen say yes, I trust them. That's where I'll leave it. I trust the process with that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. We are over 200.
Hey,
200.
All right.
Hey, man, 170 over on the YouTube side. Hit that like button if you have not done so. And we only got 30 likes on the video, so most of you have not done so. 113 over on the Twitter side, man. Retweet the video, man. Share it up to all the people that you enjoy watching and enjoy following you. No, I think here's the big thing about Jamaal Williams, to kind of just put a bow on all of this, is if you feel uncomfortable with Roshan's health coming into the season, which I think if you're any coach, how can you right now? Like, honestly, how can you feel comfortable with where Roshan has been health-wise over the last couple of seasons? You still need that kind of running back on your team. It doesn't hurt you to bring him in to training camp. Does not mean he has to go into the season with you. We had PJ Walker 2 seasons ago as our backup quarterback. Tyson Bagent beat him out. We were paying PJ Walker $2 million. We were like, all right, see you later, buddy.
Yeah.
This is still about bringing guys in, bringing them into training camp. This is not about you going into the season with this guy. This is about seeing what they can do. Now, Matthew Judon, Za'Darius Smith, a little bit different. You probably end up going into the season with them no matter what. But Jamaal Williams, to me, I think is very, very interesting, because you could sign Jamaal Williams to, come in and try and win a deal out here in camp and say, listen, if you're the best guy, we'll stick with you, and maybe we end up moving on from somebody else. That all could happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a likely scenario that could happen. Or it ends up being nothing. And you say, you know what, Jamaal, we appreciate you coming on the team. We don't really need you. We hope you put some great tape on during preseason so that another team can go out there and pick you up. Well, we appreciate you playing the work version of our game.
Yeah.
Now, what would be interesting is, does Jamaal Williams yet again take DeAndre Swift's job?
Ooh, I don't know if that'll happen this time. I have faith in Swift.
Gotta watch yourself, man.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
The depth charts. Jesus Christ, that laugh. That's hilarious. Oh god.
The depth chart's gonna be interesting, and I want to talk about some of the camp deals that we have as we probably tomorrow. Some of the camp camp battles that we have coming up tomorrow, unless any news breaks here. Which the only news we're really waiting on is the second round picks.
I was just about to say, man, they have not been signed yet.
It is very dug in between the two sides right now. Like, I mean, like, the second round picks are like, nah, we won't fully guarantee money, and the NFL's like, you can go blow it out your backside.
They standing 10 toes down. Somebody's got to give.
Training camp kicks off July 22nd. You have to have a deal done then. So what are we? We are.
That's 2 weeks.
2 weeks away.
Yeah, about 2 weeks away.
we'll see what ends up happening because there's a lot of second-round picks that may not be on the field. And I think what's interesting about this too is I truly want to see who crosses the line first, who says just get the deal done. Because here's the thing. While you may not get the money you want to get as much money as you can. You want to get all the money that you can. If you are missing valuable reps that could put you on a football field, that's where this gets tough. And if you're not signed by training camp, you ain't going out there. You're not going out there on the insurance deal. That's fine for mini camp and voluntary stuff like that. But like by training camp, you're not going out there on that. Like, so to me, if you're Ozzie Trapillo and you have an opportunity to win a starting job,
good.
Are you waiting? Because I don't even think this is like taking a worse deal. I would assume with the Bears, this is just like, yeah, standard second round pick deal. Like whatever I get, you know what I mean? Like it's not a bad deal. I'm not going to be poor at the end of it. I'm not going to be, you know what I mean? Like if I have an opportunity to win a starting job, if you're Luther Burden, Olamide Zaccheaus is well ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an NFL player already.
Been there, done that. Yeah.
Like, it would be tough for me to sit out. Shamar Turner's got a little bit of a, I don't want to say an easier opportunity, but he's kind of going to be a rotational piece no matter what. It's not like you're the number one option. The other two guys have chances to be the number one option. So I really wonder who's going to go out there and actually cross the line first. I wouldn't be shocked if it's Chicago Bear. Because as a second round pick, I think they have an opportunity to win the job, and there's competition at those spots that could move them back further in the depth chart. But we'll see what ends up happening.
Wouldn't be exciting.
You guys for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, it is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. We'll have more coming you guys' way later today. It's Mike Tannenbaum's running his mouth again. I'm just,
oh boy,
I'm good on Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum guy. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Well,
not a bum guy.
Oh, he's a bum guy.
He's a bum guy, not a bum guy. Okay,
he's a bum guy. Always got something to say.
Yeah, set him straight.